When we first met Yusuf Olela, he was daring abroad in West Africa, that is Ghana. He is now in the southern part of Africa and is the current CEO of Sunbird Hotel and Resorts, the leading chain of hotels in Malawi. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Malawi, a landlocked country. A country known for its friendly citizens and its extraordinary freshwater lake. That is, Lake Malawi. It is the third largest lake in Africa and one of the most impressive and beautiful lakes in the southern hemisphere. And there are many more attractions in Malawi, including a branch of Sunbird Hotels and Resorts known as Sunbird Nkopola that is facing the lake. Sunbird comprises 9 hotels. It is right here where I had a one-on-one interview with Yusuf, who joined Sunbird in 2017.
We have 9 properties. Out of those 9 hotels, 7 we own and 2 we manage under management contract as part of our expansion plan. We also own a subsidiary that focuses on catering, and currently we offering in-flight catering, and we also have different contracts with different institutions, and we also have restaurant.
Yusuf, who is a graduate of Kenya's Utalii College, never envisioned heading such a big entity away from his home country.
Sunbird, and we say it's a destination within destinations. So when you look at Sunbird, you find that our footprints is spread within the whole of Malawi. So actually, by visiting Sunbird, you're actually visiting Malawi. From Central, which is in Longwe, we have 2 properties, and the focus is on MICE market, which is meeting events, conferences, and incentive groups. And then if you go to the north, that's Mzuzu. When you're moving towards Tanzania, we also have Sunbird Mzuzu. And then you could actually do a tour along the lakeshore, and then you end into Salima, and we have Sunbird Livingstonia. Then when you're coming towards the south, where you are now, this is Sunbird Nkopola. And then moving towards Blantyre, we have Sunbird Mount Soche. Then you going towards the Mozambique, you have Sunbird Karamula. And then when you love safari and wildlife, then we run a lodge inside Majete Game Reserve, which is Sunbird Tawale, where you could see the big 5.
And the Malawi-Kenyan connection in the hospitality industry is stronger than you might think.
Most of our senior managements have either trained in Kenya Utalii College or gone for short courses there, and they have all been taken out into exposure. All our GMs have gone through the Cornell General Management Program. I personally am humbled to say I'm an alumni of Cornell Hotel Society through my certification program that I did in Cornell, New York.
Sunbird brand and popularity goes hand in hand with what Malawi is known for.
What makes probably Malawi as one of the most emerging destinations to go to is the fact that Malawi is still very rich in culture. If you look at this lake, it offers huge opportunity for water sports. And the other destinations that I've mentioned, the game viewing, the hiking. So within Sunbird, what we've done, and I think probably you'll get time to sample some of those, is that we've invested in water sports activities. Because what we saw is that yes, the lake is beautiful, and what next?
Then the people.
The Malawi people are very friendly and they're very accommodative. And it's very difficult even for myself to be picked as somebody who doesn't come from Malawi, because I integrated very easily with them and they're very friendly. And that actually encouraged my family that had never been very keen to move along with me wherever, which countries that I've worked in, because this is not my first country. I've worked in probably 3 to 4 countries out of Kenya. And they came here, they liked it. They liked the climate, they liked the food, they liked the people.
Yusuf, who is also a graduate of Kenyatta University in Hospitality Management, has worked in various African countries, and Ghana was his previous host before finding his current job in Malawi. So how did he end up here?
That's very interesting. I think the last time that we met, could have been some 3 years ago, and I was in Ghana. I was the group GM for Alice Hotels. A friend of mine saw an advert in Kenyan newspaper back in Kenya and sent it to me and told me, look here, I've looked at the profile of this job which has been advertised in Malawi, and this position describes you. And I mean, after a lot of deliberation whether I really wanted to leave Ghana, a friend of mine told me, you have nothing to lose. And I applied for the job and went through a series of interviews. And when I first came for the interview in Malawi, because I did like 3 different interviews where I had to come for different interviews, meeting different panelists, I started liking the place. The climate, Ghana was very hot. This place is just like Kenya. I mean, if you look at it in terms of climate and the weather conditions and even the food.
Yusuf, who was born in Karachuonyo, Kanyaluo location in Homa Bay County, reflects on his first step in the industry.
After my diploma, my first job was actually in Mombasa as a trainee manager at Shelly Beach, and then went into fast food as a shop manager and rose through the ranks until area manager. Then that's when I went into the industry, and I think my first employment in mainstream hotel at what I would call a senior level was when I joined as hotel manager, Midland Nakuru, and then moved from there to Uganda, came back to Kenya, worked as group sales and marketing manager for Kengeles, went to Tanzania and worked as a GM, came back to Kenya and worked as from banquet director to F&B director, went to operations, and then became a GM in 2015 when I moved to Addis Ababa to run one of the first 5-star hotels.
The chain of hotels Yusuf is managing is listed on the Malawi Stock Exchange.
When I joined, our share price was 68 Malawian kwacha per share, and at the moment we are at 145. So that means that basically with the performance, we basically almost doubled the share price, and that's something very good for the shareholders, so they're very happy about it. And since I came, we've renovated now 3 properties into the standard which is acceptable to the market, but locally and also internationally. And then the next thing that I did was to now focus on how to expand the revenue base. And I can say that from 2017 to now, our compounded annual revenue growth is at 35%. And in terms of top line, from 2016 and to now, we basically doubled our top line from what used to be 1.3 billion to 2.6 billion in terms of bottom line.
Yusuf, an old boy of Kisumu Day High School, is praised by his colleagues as a team player and a leader who inspires the staff. Proud Chalira, who has been with Sunbird Hotels for over 20 years, says he's proud of Yusuf's transformative policies.
There have been a number of developments that our new C.E.O. has brought in to Sunbird. He has totally improved the service delivery in our hotels. He has also brought in the teamwork in Sunbird. He's also trying to work on welfare of our members of staff. He has brought in some wellness so that each and every staff should be fit. They should be doing some exercises.
With this improvement and success, Sunbird Hotels has been able to host a number of notable dignitaries.
Yeah, we've hosted Madonna, we've hosted the president, we've hosted former president of US, we've hosted different heads of states.
And just like any other business, it can never always be smooth.
The biggest challenge in Malawi, of course, number one, is in terms of the products, because it's a landlocked country. So it means that most of our dry goods we actually importing from either South Africa, which we don't have a port. The port that we have is Mozambique, but also very far in terms of the actual port. So we get our things from South Africa, some from Tanzania. So that means that the cost of running a business is actually very high in terms of your raw materials. The other challenge is actually power. Malawi still depend on hydro, and what we produce in terms of power is not adequate. So running costs, that means that in each and every hotel you must invest in generator. And generator uses diesel, and as landlocked, you mean that fuel prices are always high. So cost of running the business is also very high.
Yusuf believes that tourism on the continent will flourish if African countries remove travel barriers.
It should be free for anybody to go to any other country without being asked for visa. And then number two, the intra-Africa flights. It's just too expensive from one African country to the other. If you look at Europe, for example, I mean, the majority of tourists are actually the Europeans themselves. And that should also happen in Africa. So Africa should visit Africa.
Yusuf is a self-made hotelier who, like many other Kenyans we have met abroad, believes east or west, home is the best, much as dreams can be achieved anywhere in the world.
People must know that you are a brand on your own. So if you're a brand on your own, how do people know you? You must take yourself out there and tell your story. And through that story, you'll inspire other people.
That is all we had for you today, and I hope you have been inspired by Yusuf's story. Until next time, my name is Michael Zimanji.